What's happening, good people? What's happening, good people? It's your man, Patrick the Game Changer Jackson here. I am live once again. Going to be talking about a few topics on today. Hope y'all make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Say hello to your boy while you're here. Again, we're going to be talking about the upcoming some situation that's going on right around the corner. So stay locked, stay tuned. We'll be talking about the Jay-Z lawsuit, how it's connected to Diddy, what's going on with that. Going to deep dive in that a little bit. Also going to talk about the United Healthcare CEO that was killed. Very, very touchy topic and situation. We also talk about the NBA a little bit, and of course our Lakers. So we'll be diving in on a few of those topics on today. So make sure y'all stay locked in, stay tuned in. Definitely want your opinions. As you jumping up in here, say hello to your boy while you're jumping in, and I'll be right back. Hey, what's happening, good people? What's happening? Hope y'all having a great, great day. We are in the month of December. I know 2024 is going by extremely fast. It's going by crazy, man. I know we already in December. Some of y'all had your New Year's resolution that started in January, and guess what? Some of y'all probably ain't started. Y'all math will go ahead and loop it on over again because you didn't put yourself in a position to where you ain't tackled some of the things, you haven't touched on some of the things that you wanted to do. But guess what? You can start today. You ain't got to wait to 2025. You can go ahead and lock yourself in. Go ahead and get rocking on today, man. Don't allow situations to hold you back, stop you from where you're going, stop you from where you're heading to, because you can start today. Make sure you keep pushing forward. It's very important that we continue to do that all the time, all of the time. Now, one of the quotes that Oprah Winfrey says, I always try to start off with a quote. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. The ability to triumph begins with you. Again, I'm gonna say that again. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. The ability to triumph begins with you. I want to leave that with you, man. Make sure that you stay locked into the things that you want to do, the things that you are passionate about and pressing forward. Again, if you're jumping up in here, man, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and make sure that you subscribe. Go ahead and share this with a friend, man. Appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me all the time. Go ahead and say hello. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. And say hello as y'all coming on up in here, man. Go ahead and tag a friend. Love on somebody that while you're on up in here. So we're going to jump into some of these topics of the day. Like I told y'all, man, we're going to be talking about the Jay-Z lawsuit, how it's connected to Diddy. We're also going to be talking about the United Healthcare CEO that was killed. And we're going to talk about some NBA and the Lakers. Y'all know I'm a basketball head. So I might tackle a little bit of the football stuff too. I know some of y'all are Dallas fans and things like that, getting their butts kicked. But it is what it is. But yeah, go ahead and make sure y'all say hello. Tell me, hey, mama, I see you. Love you. What's up? Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. What's up, friend? How you doing? Uh, appreciate you coming on in. Appreciate the love. Appreciate y'all coming on in. But we're gonna dive in to the first conversation, which will be we'll talk about the CEO of the United Healthcare. That has been a tragic situation. There has been mixed feelings on the actual event itself. Definitely don't ever want to see anyone life taken by anyone. But here is a portion of the story. Of course, the suspect has been arrested and have been in custody. But here is some of the story that was on USA Today.
New York City police say they have a person of interest in custody in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was stopped at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where an employee spotted him, recognized him from photographs that have been circulating since the shooting last week, called police, and then there, police officers, according to the NYPD, found a gun, writings about corporate America, a suppressor or silencer, and fake IDs, including what they say was an ID that this person used to check into a hostel in New York City, a hostel where they say the gunman in the killing of Thompson stayed while he was in New York City. This development comes on the 6th day of a manhunt that spread beyond the New York City limits. Police, using surveillance video, tracked the movements of the shooter from the early morning shooting in Midtown Manhattan to a uptown Manhattan bus station where they believed that he got on an out-of-town bus on about an hour after the shooting on December 4th. Police now saying that the suspected shooter, is in custody at the Altoona City Police Station in Western Pennsylvania. New York City police detectives, along with representatives from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, are on their way to Altoona to question this person. There, he faces gun charges. He will eventually be extradited to New York to face charges in connection with the killing of Brian Thompson.
Now, bringing this back up, Brian Thompson, which is the CEO of United Healthcare. Brian Thompson, of course, prayers for his family, those loved ones. There have been some circulations of different stories of why this individual had taken his life. Of course, it's allegedly that the gunman that they apprehended is a major suspect in this killing or shooting, which he was found, suspectedly at a McDonald's, out of all places, at a McDonald's. Out of all places, at McDonald's, right? You're going in and get some food, somebody spots you, they recognize who you are from, the person, I really couldn't have recognized the photos from, and probably if I seen them in person, probably wouldn't have a clear image because the image was still kind of grainy and stuff like that. So for the person to have identified him and been able to see him, that employee probably was imagining somebody that'd be really watching all the employees, making sure they were doing everything right. So probably one of the managers that got a good eye. And so when he saw the guy, went on to call the police and definitely got to see what's going to happen next. But it was definitely interesting. They said that he was, acting a little fidgety, funny, but he was flirting with people and stuff like that. So it was very interesting to find out exactly what is going on with this case. So we'll be following this as well and trying to see exactly what's going to happen moving forward. Because a lot of the story that was coming out as he had got gunned down last week, that the guy can handle the gun well. They think that he was murder for hire type situation, that it could be something that have gone up in where it could have been a competitive thing. We don't know exactly what that is, but it seemed like someone really wanted this individual gone. Something that have happened since then, that I will say. So a couple of the things that have happened since then. A lot of the other CEOs of the other insurance companies have taken their CEOs off of their websites in fear of those, like there was some type of all out trying to kill individuals out here. So it's something to really, really watch. They took all of their CEOs off of their websites so people can identify and know who they are. And so it's very interesting to see the reaction to this particular killing, not knowing the motive, especially. Was it something personal? Was it something maybe had a gambling problem, or someone had a hit, or maybe something that happened specifically between them that it just didn't involve something involving the healthcare industry. So it's going to be very interesting to watch what's going on with that as well. So go ahead and guys, go ahead and make sure that you go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Appreciate y'all continue to jump in. Say hello to me as you're coming in. Appreciate you guys. Continue to rock with me as we go on this journey. But tell me your thoughts, man. Have you seen the story? If this is the first time seeing it, what is your thoughts on it? Do you think that this was a hired hit? Uh, uh, or do you think that there's something else behind it? Do you think it's personal? Do you think it was hired? Do you think it's a competitive thing? Tell me your opinions in the comments on what you think is surrounding this particular killing of someone of such high profile. Just walking seemed like he was going throughout his day. Here he's here 1 minute and then gone the next. It's very, very interesting to see how this whole thing is going to pan out and how it's going to go moving forward. So appreciate you guys. Continue to tune in. But I want to know your opinion. Put them in the comments. What's your thoughts of seeing something like this happen, which is not a typical thing that happens all the time. So it's not a normal occurrence that you see high-profile individuals like this being gunned down in the streets. So just trying to figure out what was the motive, what was it behind this particular person of them setting up their. Um, it was obviously, it seemed like a very targeted killing. It wasn't like he was going out spraying and shooting a bunch of people, or you will see different situations when they're at concerts or they're at large gatherings, and you have this vigilante just going out shooting people. But it seemed like a very targeted killing, and he wanted to make sure that he hit that individual. So definitely something for us to go ahead and watch. Hey, Teresa, I see you. What's going on? Good to see you. I'm gonna say it sounds like more to the story. Yes, it does. It does sound like it's a lot more to the story and what has happened, or what maybe there was some type of interaction or something that happened between a person or family or someone that got denied care. With some of the speculation that came to my mind, it was definitely something that everything didn't line up to seem like everything was just hunky dory. And we've seen, stories like this, right? One of the famous uh, movies of Denzel, John Q, which I thought he should have got an Oscar for instead of Training Day. In my opinion, I thought John Q was a much better movie suited to him being a hero, a father fighting for his son instead of Training Day. Although he did phenomenal in Training Day as well, I thought that John Q, if you didn't see John Q, or if you haven't seen John Q, make sure that you go and watch it and come and tell me if you don't think that movie was better than Training Day, in my opinion. Although it's a lot of great lines and stuff in there that we all say that's from that. But I think John Q was definitely one of those movies. And the reason why I'm bringing up John Q is because it was based off of his son being denied medical care because they couldn't afford it. And so he had pretty much took it over the hospital and things like that. We don't know if that was because maybe that person lost a family member and maybe wanted to set an example. There's a lot more. There's a lot more details that is going to be tied in that. Tree said that she feels that it is a hired hit. Thinks it's a hired hit, huh? Okay, let's see. We'll see. We'll see. They did say before they apprehended him that they thought that there was some type of that he seemed very professional in the way that he handled the weapon, and so that's something to watch. But again, tell me y'all opinion. Would love to know. Do you guys think this was a higher hit? Do you think it was something else? Do you think that there's more to the story? I want to know your opinion on this. I see my boy said, when can I get you on my show? I got you, man. Just let me know. Hit my line. I got you, man. I'll jump on with you, brother. Just let me know. Got my boy Kenny from the Bub Podcast. He in the building. Appreciate you, brother. Much love. I'm always doing big things, man. Appreciate you, brother, for jumping in on there with me. But also, gotta watch this. Gotta watch this case, man. Gotta watch this case because a lot of the other insurance companies have kind of been shooken. And again, they've taken a lot of their people off of their websites for people to know exactly who they are and what's going on with them. So it's something very, very interesting to see. Now, we're going to go on to what's happening with Jay Z. What is happening with Jay Z, man? There's been a major lawsuit with Jay Z. If you have not heard the story, you will hear it here as well. But it's definitely making waves around the world of Jay Z being hit with a lawsuit claim that of a sexual assault to um, a 13-year-old, that there was an SA to a 13-year-old. So it's something very, very interesting, again, to watch as you see these things that have been unfolding in 2024. This is an allegation that have been made. And so we are going to dive into this story just a little bit, just so we can see exactly what is going on and what has happened with this particular case. And we'll just kind of break it down piece by piece. Check it out.
To the bombshell accusation against Jay-Z, a woman claiming the hip-hop mogul joined Sean Diddy Combs in sexually assaulting her when she was just 13 years old. Jay-Z is vehemently denying the accusation. ABC News Live anchor Lindsay Davis is here with more. Lindsay, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. This lawsuit originally named Diddy as the defendant, but then it was refiled yesterday and now also names Jay-Z. But the music mogul is coming out swinging, saying in a statement that the allegations are so heinous in nature that he employs the lawyer to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one, adding.
All right, let's stop it right there. Now, they have filed this complaint. Now, this is very important. I hope some of it have not gone over your head as quickly as it is coming and it is going. Now, they have filed this civil lawsuit, right, Mr. Busby, which has been really going after a lot of the major and popular individuals in the industry. And so he filed this lawsuit, and it was tied to P. Diddy. Now, let's slow it down. He was tied to P. Diddy. If you heard what she said, they made an amendment. They made an amendment to the actual lawsuit. They had it already named in the lawsuit that there was a high-profile celebrity, in my opinion, allegedly, that they went to the individual. Okay? They went to the individual. They went to Jay-Z and his team initially, and I believe they went to them to try to settle this before it came out. And that's why you will hear the other parts would say, oh, Jay-Z believed that it's a shakedown and things like that. But the actual situation that came with P. Diddy, and they're accusing that Jay-Z and P. Diddy was involved in this particular case. Now, all of these are allegations. These are things that are going to start to play out in the actual court system. But, of course, a lot of people are starting to bring their opinions on board as these things have been unraveling and folks have been getting hit. And people are really watching these cases because it's going to pan out to see how are people going to move forward. How are people going to actually take these lawsuits and things like that very seriously or not? But here's the rest of it.
Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away.
New allegations this morning leveled against rapper Jay-Z, also known as Sean Carter, accusing him of sexually assaulting a then 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs after the VMAs in 2000. The new amended civil lawsuit, originally filed by a Jane Doe in October, identifies celebrity A as Jay-Z, claiming that he and Diddy drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party and that another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Combs and Jay-Z both attended the award show that year. Jay-Z, who was 31 at the time, is now a multi-platinum Grammy winner and business mogul who's reached the highest heights of the rap industry.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation, pledge your allegiance.
Jay-Z is vehemently denying the allegations, writing, "This is a blackmail attempt," taking direct aim at the plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, saying what he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle, going on to say the claims are idiotic, and noting the impact this has had on his wife, music icon Beyonce, and their 3 children. "My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims." Jay-Z challenges Busby to change the civil lawsuit to a criminal complaint. But Busby is standing his ground, writing, "I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence.
For Jay-Z.
Now let's slow it down just a little bit. Now, Jay-Z, when the lawsuit came out, just like I was telling y'all, when Jay-Z came out with this particular piece of it, right, it is pretty crazy. All of the things that have come forth with this entire situation. Now, Jay-Z and P. Diddy are tied to this. So he presented an opportunity for him to settle. And like Jay-Z stated, he thought that the public scrutiny and all of the other allegations that this was going to force him to settle. He assumed, Jay-Z allegedly is assuming that he thought that that was going to force him to settle, that this attorney here, Tony Busby. Now, one important key piece to this whole situation is that this person is still anonymous, right? The person is still anonymous. They don't know who this person is. Jay-Z is employing, hey, this is despicable. Instead of you trying to force something to be a civil lawsuit, why not trial this to be criminal? So Jay-Z is really playing chess with this thing and going back and forth with them, and his lawyers have been burning the midnight oil. Of course, he has a great team of attorneys that can fight these type of things, but of course they cost a lot of money, but that's what they kind of prepare for. And a lot of times what happens is that instead of the public pushback and missing of endorsements and missing money, a lot of times the celebrities will settle, and a lot of times they bank on celebrities settling extremely early, so that they don't have to deal with hiring their attorneys, spending millions of dollars to try to fight the case. Instead, they could break them off, whatever it is, and then they don't lose endorsements and other business deals and things of that sort, which happens all the time. So because brands and stuff don't want to be tied to anyone that's have any type of scrutiny towards them in this, especially dealing with minors, something that's it's still dealing with minors all the time. So it's something that for folks to watch. And this is going to, especially this P. Diddy and Jay-Z case, is going to be a precedent of how people are going to kind of move forward. With Diddy settling with Cassidy extremely quick, people feeling a lot safer maybe to come forward. We don't know, because there was a lot of allegations. There was things that happened where people were kind of trying to go forward with different things. So it's something for folks to watch, definitely, for real. So again, as you see this going forward, you will see attorney Tony Busby, which is representing a lot of different people. He has about, I think, 20 people that he's representing at this particular moment. He's rolling out lawsuits as they're coming forward. This particular attorney is rolling them out as they come forward. I believe he's trying to settle those lawsuits behind the scenes, but then if they don't, he's going ahead and hitting them with the lawsuit. And then, like Jay-Z said, he thinks that he's trying to put Jay-Z in a negative light to try to force him to do that. So it's very important for that to happen. So for me and all of those people, it's going to take place. So I'm going to go back and play this for you so that you guys can check it out. We're going to play this from the beginning so you guys can really now kind of have the backstory and be able to see what it means.
The bombshell accusation against Jay-Z, a woman claiming the hip-hop mogul joined Sean Diddy Combs in sexually assaulting her when she was just 13 years old. Jay-Z is vehemently denying the accusation. ABC News Live anchor Lindsay Davis is here with more. Lindsay, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. This lawsuit originally named Diddy as the defendant, but then it was refiled yesterday and now also names Jay-Z. But the music mogul is coming out swinging, saying in a statement that the allegations are so heinous in nature that he employs the lawyer to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one, adding whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away.
New allegations this morning leveled against rapper Jay-Z, also known as Sean Carter, accusing him of sexually assaulting a then 13-year-old girl with Sean Diddy Combs after the VMAs in 2000. The new amended civil lawsuit, originally filed by a Jane Doe in October, identifies celebrity A as Jay-Z, claiming that he and Diddy drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after party and that another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Combs and Jay-Z both attended the award show that year. Jay-Z, who was 31 at the time, is now a multi-platinum Grammy winner and business mogul who's reached the highest heights of the rap industry.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation, pledge your allegiance.
Jay-Z is vehemently denying the allegations, writing, "This is a blackmail attempt," taking direct aim at the plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, saying what he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle, going on to say the claims are idiotic, and noting the impact this has had on his wife, music icon Beyonce, and their 3 children. "My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims." Jay-Z challenges Busby to change the civil lawsuit to a criminal complaint. But Busby is standing his ground, writing, "I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients, and the truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anyone to scare my clients into silence."
For Jay-Z, the question is, what is next? And for him, it's going to be fighting this civil lawsuit and either trying to get Jane Doe to name herself, provide any evidence that these allegations are true, or fight them based on the facts that he has.
Now, through his attorney, Sean Combs denies all allegations against him, saying in court the truth will prevail and that he never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. Guys.
All right, good people. Here we go. So with that whole case right now, as you can see, it's crazy to see how all of this is unfolding. All of this is unfolding. The pushback is definitely there. The pushback is definitely there. Crazy pushback is happening. So do you think this will tarnish Jay-Z's legacy? I think how it plays out, it definitely will. I think it's definitely, man, it is in a very peculiar place right now. I'll say that. It's in a peculiar space because it's being tied to Diddy. All of this is being tied to Diddy. So it's extremely tough to see how this is going to be played out. Because one, he's obviously denying this had ever happened. This, of course, was back in 2000. They're saying that she was underage, said that she had tried to get into a party. She tried to go to the VMAs, tried to get into that. She was 13 at the time, got dropped off by a friend. They are suspecting the friend was at least 16, that kind of have a driver permit or something to be able to drive. And of course, hopefully an adult didn't drop her off without a ticket, right? So I guess maybe she was hoping she could be a seat filler or something like that. I don't know. But going out there on a whim, and then ended up running into some of the drivers and stuff, trying to see celebrities. And then we're just out there waiting, watching it on the Jumbotron with everyone, and then running into some of the drivers and trying to see how they can get linked up with some of the celebrities, and ended up running into, I guess, allegedly P. Diddy's driver, which said that, hey, he likes, he would like a young lady like yourself. And so he said that he'd come back and get her. I guess he came back, got her that later on that night, took her over there. She had some things to drink. She saw some people smoking weed. There was cocaine and things like that. This is what is being written in Mr. Busby's allegation towards Jay-Z, and tie him into this. And so all of that information that is being presented, that she did all this cocaine, all this different type of stuff, and she saw other people doing it. They handed her a drink that she believed was laced with something, which is interesting at that point as well. And then she went to go lay down somewhere. She saw a bed, had nothing in it. And then that's when, at some point in time, Diddy and Jay-Z came in, and they both, and she said some other lady was in there as well, which they have in the lawsuit that someone else was in the actual room with them. So it's something for them to come on and check out. So it's very, very, very interesting on how all of this is coming together. But it's definitely not something that to be taken lightly. I'll say that much. It's not something to be taken lightly at all. Now, and he's not. I don't think he is taking it lightly. For the simple fact that his lawyers are on top of it. He said he's fighting it. He's not going to just settle and then allow other people to just come and start piling up and piling up and piling up. And then all of a sudden you're selling and selling and selling and selling. And this thing is going to get, I believe that's what his thought process is, understanding that this is what he's going to, how that's going to all play out. So that's what's interesting to see. Very, very crazy to see how all of this is coming together. Now, also with Jay-Z's response, I'm gonna go ahead and share this video because they really went in. They really went in on on what's going on here. Let me see. Here we go. He was really going in on Mr. Bugsby. And it sounded like his response, as y'all check this out, his response to the allegation was quite interesting. And I'm gonna break that down here in a minute on Jay-Z's his lawyer's response to him. But it sounded like Jay-Z was actually saying the words. You guys let me know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So check this out really quick from this part. Here we go.
So it says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt. This is a statement directly from Jay-Z. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt, called a demand letter from a lawyer, in quotations, named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny that would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer who I have done a bit of research on seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither nor honor or dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I, he says my wife, but we know he's like my Beyonce, because like, why won't you just say Beyonce? My wife and I have to sit our children down now, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such that at their young age. It is unfair to have to try and understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world. I want to get to this next part. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me, that if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am.
That was a bar you skipped though. With me.
Now, if you seen that, right? Seeing that portion of what they just, shout out to the Breakfast Club as well, covering the story. I know it was definitely something that very touchy situation, of course. Someone that was a minor at the time, someone that some people think is the GOAT in rap, and of course P. Diddy having a very influential position as well. But that response, the response that Jay-Z had, it seemed like it was definitely all pointed at the lawyer and discrediting him as a former person of being a patriot and serving the country, and saying that he's not a man of valor and honor and respect, and the way that he's conducting himself as someone that is chasing these type of frivolous lawsuits in his opinion. And so whoever this 13-year-old at the time, which would very sensitive topic and subject. And there was some information that came out today as well of them wanting to identify who this person is. And there was, an array, an index of little information being put out by Jay-Z's lawyer as to why they need to reveal this person, because they're tarnishing his name, his legacy. He's could be losing opportunity and things of that sort. And so, and of course, they're pushing for a dismissal. They're pushing for a dismissal. Like, hey, there's nothing here. It's just smoke and mirrors. There's no real evidence, just a claim. Unless they bring something to the table of some clear-cut evidence, then they need to go ahead and move forward. But we can't allow the publicity stunt to be the public opinion as to how they feel and things like that to sway if a judge is going to move one way or another. So it's definitely something that has to be dealt with for real. I agree. I believe that anyone that's in a predicament like that definitely deserves justice. There's a lot more lawsuits that have come forward. As you see, these type of things do happen. Some people file frivolous cases and they'll come forward. They will, say that something happened and it really didn't. And then it kind of tarnishes the others that really have cases as well. And so those that have had some type of negative encounter with whomever, we hope that justice does get served, and if justice needs to be served. And that's been the other question too. So those that have filed false claims, do you think that they should now be penalized or going to jail, or should there be some type of compensation if they have been found to make up this type of stuff? That there's a major push with that as well. Those that have gone forward and said some things and said that this was something that happened to them and it didn't happen, and it comes out that it's false. Should something happen to those that have made false claims? That's a very interesting conversation and topic as well, because it's very easy to file a civil suit, of course, against someone, and then now you just have to go to court and try to figure that out. But of course, when you're a high-level celebrity, the money part becomes the issue. People are trying to attack their money. They're trying to attack all of the things that they have going on when it comes to financial decisions that is going on with their whole entire situation. So it's very important to really watch and see exactly how this is really going to pan out, because how the judicial system handles a case like this is very important. And of course, Jay-Z also mentioned the piece where you're talking about, he has children. And so with his daughter being of age and having friends and things like that, having to explain to her that her father being accused of something like this is an extremely tough conversation, right? That's not an easy conversation to have. And then the protection of the victim. If her allegations, I think it is, yes, her allegations are true, and that person now is being exploited out onto the world of what happened and all these things, that could be an embarrassment and feeling shame. All those type of feelings and emotions come into place too. So let me know your opinion. Do you feel like this is something that, well, first, this is the first question will be, do you think that he's guilty or not? Do you, in your opinion of what you've seen, what you've heard, what you saw, do you think that this is something that he could have gotten involved in with P. Diddy, or is he just is this just another case of someone trying to get some money out of another celebrity? That could be the case. That could not be the case. Do you think that he's been involved in some of these activities with P. Diddy? You know, there is speculation and allegation that are coming forward that they were two peas in the pod. They were like brothers. That it was very interesting to hear that they are the only two that can, because they're both their first name, their legal first names are Sean. So P. Diddy name is Sean. His legal first name is Sean Combs. And then you have Sean Carter, which is Jay-Z. And they said outside of their mothers, they are the only two that can call each other Sean. Now, this is documented information. They both said these on different interviews. And so they are tying this entire thing to what they're trying to call what could be racketeering with Diddy and stuff like that from the criminal side. They don't, there's a bunch of speculation that on down the road that these things can be tied into each other. So it's going to be very, 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 very interesting to see how this whole thing kind of pans out. You also say these people that were at the party should have been said something. Are they being paid to say something now? Are their names going to be put out there? Sounds like a lot of guilty people. Now, it does sound like there are people that she said there was another person that was another lady. So it was allegedly there was Jay-Z, P. Diddy, and then another lady actually in the room when all this had happened. I don't know if there's a bunch of speculation saying that it was his assistant, that it was maybe his girlfriend, one of their girlfriends at the time, or some people are saying that it could have been J-Lo. A bunch of different speculations of what was going on in the year 2000 when we thought the world was supposed to end. Remember that? Y'all remember that 2000? Everybody was getting all that canned goods and stuff. Y'all see, some of y'all weren't even living during that time. Some of y'all was in the womb. Some of y'all ain't wasn't even born. So y'all remember y'all was getting them cans. Y'all was getting everything together. We didn't even know 2000 we was gonna make 2000. We thought the world was gonna end. They thought it was gonna be mass destruction, the Mayan stuff. Y'all don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me hanging. Don't try to make me feel like I'm that old now. Come on now. I know y'all remember that. It was 1999, and when 2000 came, we didn't know what was gonna happen. It was all types of stories. I remember it was getting cans and everything, getting all that type of stuff prepared. There was a bunch of different stories that was going out. That was surrounded by the Mayans and stuff like that. So there was a lot going on in 2000. Whole lot that was going on in 2000. So the story of how all of this whole thing happened. Don't tell me that y'all don't remember this now. The just thinking about 2000, I remember all that. We was getting prepared. The stores and stuff was cleared out of canned goods and tissue. It was just like the pandemic. It was similar to the pandemic. All that stuff was getting cleared out. Toilet tissue was gone. Canned goods. You just walked down the canned good aisle. You see all them canned goods. People was getting prepared. They was having these little kits. They was having kits and stuff for their families. You ain't know what was gonna happen. Callie said, Callie Queen was having. Yeah, see Callie with me. She said she remember. Y2K, don't leave me hanging. Y'all know y'all remember Y2K. Y2K was that thing. Y'all thought, we thought all types of stuff was gonna be let loose during Y2K. Woo! Man, bringing that back, I'm sweating already. I'm probably about to get some stuff going on. I see what's happening. But I think one of the main things, especially, of course, that was such a long time. That's what 24 years ago that all of that was going down. And so with this case, we're gonna see. There was a lot of things that happened. Even after the situation happened, they said that she ran out, was able to kick him off or something of that sort. Was able to boost some strength. She was dozy and all that type of stuff, and was able to try to get on up out of there and jetted on out. Ran. And she said she called her daddy. This is where I got the question at right here. Now, she said she called her daddy. In the paperwork, says she called her daddy. She was mad. She was embarrassed and scared because she had told her daddy. How folks used to lie, talking about they was over their friend's house and they went somewhere else. Parents didn't check up on it. You know what I mean, type thing. And so she said she would be a little deceptive to her parents, and then was afraid, of the reaction and stuff like that. So she was scared to call dad. Ended up at a gas station. That she recognized, called her father. He was able to get to her because she was about 2.5, 3 hours away. He was able to get to her, and then had took her home. So but I had questions about that part of it right there. Woo, like my daughter, she did something wrong, all that type of stuff, right? Cool, but then she tell me the story of what happened, and I'm like, yo, we got to go pull up on P. Diddy and Brother Carter. Yeah. Now he ain't Jay-Z at this time. He Brother Carter. Yeah. Brother Combs and Brother Carter. We can't even call you Diddy and Jay-Z no more. You Brother Combs and Brother Carter. We got the break bread. Yeah, we got to see each other. I got to see you. If this didn't happen to my baby, because if she called her mama, that's different. You see what I'm saying? Mama called mama da da da. But you call daddy. Come on, you didn't call daddy. Yeah, you got to see me. You got to see me. Nah. You got to see me. I don't care about your security, none of that. I don't care about anything in life. I tell people like this, just like how we talk about the healthcare CEO. Everybody touchable, man. Like everybody's touchable. You can have security and all that type of stuff. Man, everybody. If somebody wants to get you, you got. Like if somebody really, really deep down on the inside, they have that much hatred for you. You ain't enough security in the world. It ain't. You see, they almost got Trump. They almost got that was one person. Now, if you got a group of people that's going, you can have, man, you can get got. You can get got. But you called your daddy. My daughter called me. And then, oh, man. Oh, yeah. They're going to have a jacket for me somewhere. Yeah. I'm already signed up. Yeah, I'm already signed up. I'm going to the big house. Oh, yeah, that's front page news. Yeah, that's front page news. Because in the moment, it's a reaction, right? I'll probably get off with insanity or something because it wasn't premeditated. At that point, she done told me, and now I got to get you. I got to get you now. Yeah, that's a tough position to be in as a father, man. That's a tough position to be in for them to have told the father and then the father don't do nothing or was afraid at that point, right? That I'll be out. Everybody, people talk a lot, smoking stuff and just loud. You just don't know in the scenario about what people be thinking and what could be going through their head at the doggone moment. But if I tell you what, she called her daddy, but we don't know what happened. Well, obviously ain't nothing. I'm like, I don't know, because they didn't put like any hospital reports or nothing up in there. Like they take it to the hospital. That's why it's so many holes in the story that it's like, man, you had a daddy that didn't do nothing. Now, those of you that got a daddy, would your daddy did something? Mama, would you have did something? Your daughter called you? Fathers, your daughter called you? Y'all ain't doing nothing? Or if you're doing something, tell me what you're doing at the minimum. It can't just be we went home. You got to go to the hospital. You ain't called law enforcement. You ain't, come on, man. Well, you threatened something. You got to have something, man. You got to have something. Like I couldn't. The minimum you got to take it to the hospital. Then at least you got a record of her going to the hospital. You at least got to call the police where there's a record of you filing something. But I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm just letting you know. I'm being locked up. It ain't no. Nah. Nope. I'm done. That's it. That's all she wrote. Cause you talking about that's somebody's kid right there, man. You see what I'm saying? Like that's somebody's baby. At 13 years old, that's somebody's baby. That's somebody's baby. You can't be walking around here thinking that you did that and you didn't got scot free. Nah. Mm-mm. But at minimum, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me, what are you doing? What are you doing if that happened to your baby and your baby call you? You come pick her up. Now, these are some of the options. Now, everybody ain't gonna go up there, and get it on, right? Everybody ain't like that. But you go either go fight, you're gonna go up there and try to talk to them and see what's going on. Cause some of y'all got some lying kids, you know what I mean? You try to, if your baby lying. You know if your baby a lie. Sometimes you gotta verify sometimes, but you will know when you saw him. You'll know when you saw him if your baby was telling the truth, shaking up. You'll see if she's swollen down there, something like that. Then you'll have a kid that it didn't happen. The situation happened, but it wasn't what it was. But then at the end of the day, it wouldn't even matter because she's 13. She's 13 at the end of the day. So what you doing? You got the hospital. You got to go fight. You going, pull out something and go on the scene. You going to the police. Are you doing one of those things? Let me know. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you doing. What you doing? Kelly said, when you call daddy, it's smoke. Big smoke. Listen, that's me. That's me all day. That's me all day, man. I love my babies. I love my kids. Yeah, man, you got to ride for yours, man, at the end of the day. You got to ride for yours. You got to ride for yours at the end of the day. Yours got to be, it's your babies. It's your baby. Mom said the fight is on. See, you got some people you got to go ahead and get it in. It's not something to be taken lightly or to be played with at all. But that portion of it is going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. What more of the story is going to come of this? Is it smoke and mirrors? Is it a true what happened in the actual story? But definitely not something to be taken lightly. It is not something to be taken lightly or something to be tied to your name. So if it is true, definitely justice needs to be served. If it's not true, it is very bad to be able to, accuse someone of something so heinous and, definitely something not to take lightly. Kelly said, yes, sir, not going to lie. Someone is going to see the king. Take me to the king. Yeah, you're going to see the king. You're going to see the king. You're going to see the king. The upper room. You're going to bust up in that mud. The upper room. You busting up in that thing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You gone. You up out of here. Yes. Slow slinging and flower bringing. Slow singing and flower bringing up in this thing. The upper room. Yeah. Yeah, that part of the story out of it was a couple of things that was kind of interesting. The bodyguards are signing the NDA, all those things as well, which was interesting. But the part once you got to your dad, I'm wondering if they holding on to those things or all of it haven't just been submitted yet. But I'm hoping that there's that they at least took it to the hospital, like there's some type of corroborating information that although you didn't go up there acting a fool, afterwards something happened, that there was some type of recourse that happened in that whole situation. But it's a lot. But yeah, the upper room, I'm gonna bust up in that thing. You would know about the day, not 24 years later. Yeah, it's very interesting. But to be honest, everybody, and I try to be impartial, especially with it being with me or something like that. It's like some people do be scared, man. Like fear is a real thing that you see with people, and some people be extremely fearful of people in powerful positions when, especially, they have a lot of means. They come from a world of that sort. So the fear part is a real thing, and by it, them and this is where kind of the empowerment, where it's kind of a catch-22, right? When you see a situation like Diddy that is happening, it's like, oh, they're really okay with going after these people if they're not safe, and you're seeing the judges continuing to deny bail. Maybe at that point, this is what people have been speculating, is that it empowered so many other people. It empowered them to be able to come forward and have and be bold enough to come forward with these type of allegations. So it's something to watch. It's something to watch, because some people do be in fear. They're extremely fearful of not only what can happen to them, but then they also threaten family members and things of that sort. So it is a position that some people be in. I'm not saying that this is the case, but I'm saying that those particular people sometimes be in those positions where they be in fear. Also, they be terrified of embarrassment. Them coming forward and saying that this thing happened to them, and now it has to be something that's public, that's in the public eye. People are going to know about because it happens to be a celebrity. You're not going to hear about it if it's somebody that's not a celebrity, right? A regular person. You're not pretty much going to hear about it from a large standpoint. But once it's a celebrity, you have to put yourself in a position of your dignity, this has been a secret, and things of that sort. So, kind of looking at it, trying to look at it from both sides of the aisle, of it being something that is being pushed, a narrative that is being pushed, or is it the truth? And trying to weigh and see which one of those things pan out is going to be extremely important. But that's what I see. I saw this thing going on, with the daddy part. I was like, dang, she ain't called mama, she called daddy. She had a daddy, man. And that's the other part of the story too. Is like, man, you're gonna be able to corroborate all this stuff as you go to court. So instead of saying your mama, they said the daddy. So that, in which isn't necessarily the norm, right? That's not the norm. So just the way that the story is even lined up is going to be extremely interesting as they go forward. Because if Jay-Z fighting now, this thing is they have to pull out all the witnesses, subpoena different folks, and I'm sure whoever that other lady was that was in the room outside of P. Diddy and Jay-Z, it was another lady in the room, I guess, watching it happen or go down, or whatever the case may be. It didn't state that that person was participating in any way. Whoever the lady was, she wasn't a participant. She was just there. So that if that person, was she able to identify that person? Was that another celebrity that she knew? All those questions are in are up for talk right now, and there's a lot of people that are speculating a lot of different things. But to see how the reason why I'm highlighting it is just to see how the litigation part is gonna go forward, because if they're able to, now this is a big piece of it. If they're able to, now watch this, they can try to tie them into the criminal part with the racketeering portion. Because they can go, if they can prove, man, this thing can start going down the whole whirlwind. And this goes back to what Cat Williams said. He was like, man, all this stuff, all this Hollywood stuff is going to come to light in 2024. And I can tell you, him coming out in January has not disappointed at all. His predictions have come full circle. I saw Cat Williams. We went and saw Cat Williams. I believe it was in December of last year. Right before we was having a special, he came out here. We saw him live, and then boom, he comes out with the Shannon Sharp interview that has now been one of the top interviews on YouTube. Interview views on YouTube. So man, that thing has eclipsed millions of views, hundreds of millions of views already. So, and I know people are going back and referencing, a lot of folks that I've been seeing going back and referencing a lot of the things that he said on that interview. And it's very interesting to see what he said, how he said it, and especially in this whole context, you know. But I'll see. We'll see what happens with it and how it's going to unfold, because it's not something that we need to be taken lightly. With some people paid off to be quiet. I believe some people, I think people are always paid off to be quiet all the time. Folks, people paid off to be quiet all the time. What they're being paid off to be quiet about is another story. What they're being paid off to be quiet about is a whole nother conversation. But a lot of people are, again, they come with false allegations or real allegations, and sometimes they're paid off, and you never hear about it. You know, there's an NDA and gag orders and stuff that are signed or imposed to where none of these things actually come out. And so I think that's what Jay-Z and his lawyers are really trying to do. He's like, man, I'm not associated with any of this nonsense. He has a lot of business deals that are at jeopardy at the moment. And you haven't heard anybody drop him from the allegations and stuff like that. So typically, even an accusation will have brands and stuff just dropping like flies. But because I believe a lot of the close time relationship that he built over the years, I think they're giving him the benefit of the doubt, letting him fight it. But if he loses it, I think they're, of course, gonna drop. But that's why they're really pushing forward to make sure that this stuff goes away as quickly as possible, as quick as possible. That's but the position that he has against Buxby is that he's just someone that's utilizing these people, not trying to seek justice, but trying to line up his own pockets at the expense of somebody else. That's a shame. Kelly Queen said, you hear Congress talking about SB. I have heard them talking about it just a tad bit. I know there has been conversation, especially with Trump coming in office, that they're going to be opening up documents potentially. So is that what you're talking about, Kelly? Let me know. Is that what you're talking about, them opening up a lot of these documents of these lists and things like that would expose these lists that I believe SB and a lot of these other individuals over the year that have done some of these things of making it public to the people that opening up these files that they have, and a lot of the things that these people have done, especially in Epstein's case, that dealt with a lot of very nasty stuff that you wouldn't imagine with these islands and things like that they had going on, was extremely despicable, to say the least. And they have not exposed that list, and I believe that it should be. If there's a list of people that are high profile people that were using children as sex slaves and things of that sort, that is not okay. and it should be something that they need to investigate everyone that was a part or that was going to that island and enjoying themselves and thinking that they were going to be able to get away with it. And I'm surprised that they have been able to suppress a lot of this corroborating evidence that could have been tied to other individuals that were involved. Although Epstein kind of got the big hit, obviously there was more than just him. He wasn't there by himself. I mean, he wasn't the only one he got this island and he's inviting all these people. He wasn't just the only one doing all this crazy stuff. So it's a lot of this stuff I think is going to come to a head, man. Like people, they call it Hollywood and people doing weird stuff and people being tied to all that stuff. That's why you will hear some people out here, different people that are famous but haven't reached a certain level. You'll hear these different things, people going to these different levels and having access to that different stuff is because they have to do something strange for a little change sometimes. Yeah, you have people that's famous, but they haven't hit that upper echelon because they have not done certain little strange. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's something that no, and no. But yeah, let me know, Callie, if that's what you're talking about. Are you talking about that list that they're talking about? And I believe it will open up not just Epstein, but a whole lot of other folks that we don't even know about, stuff that have been suppressed that we don't know about. So it's a safer place for communities. I mean, we're talking about predators and people that are targeting children and stuff. Like you think people that you are admire as celebrities and stuff, and they're doing some of the most heinous stuff to children. Man, like it just, I don't know about you, it just rubs me the wrong way, man. You dealing with our babies, you know what I mean? Like they are our future. It just hits a different way. It just hits a different way. It just hits a different way for me. I don't know about you, but for me, it hits a different way. Now, P. Diddy, of course, is still locked up. He's been trying to get out, but the judge won't allow him out because he just don't trust him. He's still been hitting up people, still been trying to contact some of the victims and things of that sort through other means and other ways. So it's something for folks, and they're tying. And this is where the thing can get a little sticky. This is where I want you to follow me, right? Follow me for a minute, check. This is where it can get a little sticky. Now, Jay-Z is tied. They're tying Jay-Z into with Diddy for the thing with this minor, right? If accused from that, now they're going to try to look into, now they're investigating, right? Now you're having them do more and more investigating background. Now they will potentially try to tie him to this racketeering situation with P. Diddy, which will then, and I've been saying this, that I believe that they were trying to get a bigger fish, which is Jay-Z, Oprah, one of them. I thought that the entire time. Now, if they're able to tie him in, right? Follow me. Now, the racketeering can go back to, especially if they're calling it a criminal enterprise, they can go back to when they were born. It don't even matter. So they include the 2000s, they include whatever they did in the 90s. You know, they'll try to include whatever it is that this has been an ongoing major operation that they've continued to do criminal activity. It's almost like they planned out Empire, you know, with Lucius and them. Like it's like they're playing out that entire scenario that they continue, although they are in the music business, they continue to do to run it as a criminal enterprise where they will hurt people and do harm, and drugs and stuff was involved, and all that types of crazy stuff. So watch it. I'm telling you, watch it. If that is the route that they are seeking to go, it gives them a position in to literally allow them to tie it in some type of way. So just keep a watch out on that, because it's not something to be taken lightly. As this goes forward, it is not going to be an easy way out. It seemed like the Busby guy, he been clapping back at Jay-Z, telling him he's going to go toe-to-toe with them, that he's not afraid, that the victims are not afraid, that they are empowered and they are ready to go forward in this case. So it is going to seem like a brawl, because Jay-Z has very good attorneys. It looks like this Tony Busby guy, he is 10 toes down and he's ready for the fire. And as you go and litigate this whole situation, how it's going to move forward for either other victims or people that will want to try to take advantage of celebrities and celebrities in position to be able to take advantage of the money and fear of the backlash that could happen with it. So again, I never have any position on anything. I just have opinions on these things, and on this, it just, my opinion is, if it's true, justice needs to be served. If it's true, justice needs to be served. If it's not true, then apologies and whatever system that, there is nothing that's there to rectify someone trying to tarnish someone else's legacy and name and what they represent, especially when you have kids and you're accusing them of dealing with kids. But some type of apology or something like that needs to happen. But if it's true, of course, all the measures that comes with the law needs to be hit with whoever is involved. There's, like I believe someone stated earlier, some of these people are being paid off. Allegedly, someone is in the room, things of that sort. So it's something to definitely watch as we go forward. It's something to watch. But also, want to tie in what's going on in the NBA. What's going on in the NBA? Where my NBA folks at? What's happening? Type NBA in the comments if you're an NBA head. If you have a favorite team, type your favorite team in the comments. Type your favorite team in the comments. I'll appreciate it. Go ahead and tap it in. Type your favorite team in the comments if you got a favorite squad. I just follow the Lakers. They got LeBron on it, so I do follow the Lakers. Now, with me following the Lakers, they had a game. LeBron is out. This was a good game. They had a game against the Blazers the other night. They've been on a losing streak. Major losing streak. So this game has was very interesting. Why is this game interesting? It's interesting because, let me pull this up. Because Portland had a good game against Portland. Now the score was 107-98, but it was definitely way more of a distance between that than it usually is. So let me go here. Now the score 107, but LeBron didn't play, nor Austin Reeves didn't play. Both of those guys was out the game. Both of them. Gone, out. But they still won the game. Why did they win the game? Because they went through Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis had 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 1 assist. D'Angelo Russell came through, was splashing on them with 28 points. And also, Rui was doing his thing as well. He was killing. Rui had, let me see here, he had 23 points. He was 9 for 13. He was 3 for 5 from 3, and he snagged down 5 rebounds and dished out 2 assists. He did his thing. Now, Dalton Connect, he kind of been on a little bit of a slump from 3, but he was 3 for 9, and he had 6 points as well. But definitely the one that carried the load was Rui, Anthony Davis, and D'Lo. They were out there killing. Now, it was something for me to say. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because I think, this is what I think. LeBron has not done a good job with the team. Although I believe he's the GOAT. He has not done a good job with the team. Yes. He's been playing like, he started off very strong. But like I told y'all, he started off very strong. But there's something about when Anthony Davis started taking over. And then Anthony Davis was hitting them with the 30 pieces. But it was something about when Anthony Davis started taking over. Anthony Davis was hitting them with these 30 pieces. This night he had 30. Why is that a problem? That Anthony Davis was hitting these 30s. The reason why it's a problem, because when Anthony Davis hitting 30 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, him being the forefront, I don't believe LeBron really don't like it. He like it, but he really don't like it. He be slowing down the game too much. And I'll be like, man, with your IQ so high, how you not realizing what you're doing, what you got going on? You got to do a better job at facilitating his team. Because he be shooting weird shots. He be slowing the game down. When LeBron out, them boys was running. They was able to take off. Boom. LeBron get the ball. He be trying to slow it down. Slow down, man. Move, man. You got to slow down. Man, let them boys take off. So you see D'Lo taking off, feeling free. Boom. He hitting shots. The offense was free flowing. And then Anthony Davis got to get on the block more, man. He got to get on the block. Bro got to get on the block. He got to. In order for them to have any type of chance, he has to dominate in the paint. And he was killing Ayton. Killing Ayton out there. Man couldn't do nothing. Man ain't been right since he left the Suns. Over there tripping. Wanting a big contract. We ain't heard nothing about no DeAndre. We ain't heard nothing from him. He should have stayed at Button Sun. And just got his get right. But he didn't want to get his get right. So that's what happened to him. But Anthony Davis been doing his thing. He has to continue. He got to continue. Anthony Davis got to make sure that he is the one that's putting up. He got to be the one that's really putting up. If he don't, they're going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble. They're going to be in trouble. If he is not the one driving the team, they're going to be in trouble. You see the last 4 games, they lost to the Hawks, they lost to the Heat, they lost to the Timberwolves. And it was the Hawks game was close, and they lost to the Brian too. Yeah. We saw the chase down, block, and all that good stuff. But nah, Brian wasn't doing his thing. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do while he was doing it. It wasn't him. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He knew he wasn't. He the one that caused the turnover, all that. I would do a breakdown on it, but I ain't gonna do it tonight. I will bring up the video and stuff, but I ain't gonna do it tonight. But those other games, they was getting blown out, and they're losing games. Not because of all of the other players. It's mainly because LeBron is not being the old LeBron, nor is he putting himself in position to allow the other guys to win. He's not allowing those guys to eat. He's not allowing those guys to really put in, to really get off on that good foot. I think he slows the offense down a little too much. You can see the scores here. They got to be, them scoring 107. Finally, they scored 132 the other night. But the Hawks defense is not as great, especially in the guard positions. So they're able to dominate a little bit more. But you start going against some of the more top tier teams. The Blazers, of course, is not a top team. They've been winning some games, but they're not a top tier team. Obviously, the Heat is going to be a tough one. The Timberwolves is going to be a tough one. You got to really put in some solid work and really trying to make these guys move. They be resting on defense. The Lakers allow the other team to rest on defense because LeBron slows the game down so much. And it's good at certain points of the game, but he be wanting to slow it down the whole game. You can't slow it down the whole game. You can't do that. You can't do that. Let me know, chat. Do y'all think the Lakers are going to do their thing? They're going to be able to turn around? Or do you think their season is done? I want you to tell me what your thoughts is about the Lakers. There's also something that's coming up. I'm hearing that there's rumbling that the Miami Heat is ready to get rid of Jimmy Butler. They're ready to get rid of Jimmy. Jimmy is a top tier player. They are ready to get rid of Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat. We're going to see how that's going to go. That's going to be a blockbuster situation to wherever he lands, and we will see what happens with that. I will see if he gets traded to another team. They're talking about letting him go. Obviously, him and Pat Riley are at major odds at this point, and they can't handle that pit bull anymore. So they said they're ready to let him go. It's time for you to go and hit the road because we don't want all your shenanigans that you got going on. So they're about to get rid of Jimmy Butler. Maybe the Lakers. I know the Lakers are interested. They said a couple other teams are interested in Jimmy as well. What the Heat are going to be willing to take in order to get Jimmy Butler is that we're going to see. We're going to see. We are going to see what happens with that. Let's see what this said. What they got. What other news they have about what's going on with the Jimmy Butler trade scenario. A bunch of trade rumors that are happening. See what they're saying out here. So it says Jimmy Butler is open to being traded. So Jimmy Butler is open to being traded. And there are 3 teams he is specifically interested in. Oh, the Lakers ain't on the list. He said Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, and the Dallas Mavericks. Ooh. Jimmy said, Jimmy got sold. Jimmy got sold. Jimmy got sold. Like Jimmy said that he is ready to go and depart. That's what he said. He said he wants to go. He would rather go to Golden State, the Houston Rockets, or the Dallas Mavericks. So now this window opens in 5 days. So December 15th is when this trade opportunity opens up for him. So I don't know if there's going to be a multi-team trade or, I know the Heat is ready to get rid of him. He's ready to go. The fans are interested in letting Jimmy go. I think he is definitely a fan favorite in Miami. They love Jimmy there, but it seemed like they have not been able to repair that relationship among themselves. Now, Golden State did say that they were looking for another star. Who they're willing to give up to get him, I'm not sure. Who are they ready to give up? Is that why they are starting to start Jonathan Kuminga at Golden State? Maybe that's why they put him in the position of Draymond Green. Maybe they're ready to get rid of Draymond Green. I can't see that happening. That's a major defensive piece. And of course, that great relationship that he has with Steph, that's going to potentially pan out in some type of way. Of course, Buddy Hield is another great piece that they could probably tie into that trade. But Jimmy, I believe his contract is pretty lucrative, so they will probably have to put a couple of pieces together to match that salary unless they're going to give up some trades or some picks that could be potentially tied into that as well. So we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see. We'll see. Y'all give me your opinion. Do you think that Jimmy, or where do you think Jimmy is going to land? And do you think that he will land into the spots that he's requested? I'm not sure if he doesn't have a no trade clause, or is the Heat willing to give him his wish. But I'm not sure if a team is willing to maybe put themselves on them. I'm not sure what Jimmy's contract is, or how many years maybe he got left on his deal, on a team willing to risk maybe taking him on 1 year and then boom, he bounced out of there. You're giving up all these assets for a 1 year rental. So we'll see. You know, you think that I want to tell me in the chat, do you think you're gonna go to Golden State? Do you think you're going to go to the Rockets, the Mavs, or do you think you're going to go somewhere else? Do you think you're going to end up with the Lakers, or do you think another team is going to snag him outside of the wishes in which he has specifically stated that he's interested in? Now, I know one thing about Jimmy: no matter where he's at, he's definitely going to play hard and work hard for the team in which he's at as well. So it's not going to be a surprise that you're going to end up with Jimmy that's going to actually give you some work and give you some things that you are not going to see any other player do. So it's definitely great to see that these different things are going to shake up here as we going to be ending the year on some of these trades that are going to potentially happen. And I think the Jimmy Butler trade will probably shake up the NBA probably just as much as the Drew Holiday acquisition happened with Dame. So that portion of it, and of course, man, Boston is out here killing it, and I think they may do a back-to-back this year, but I don't think it's going to be an easy road for them either. So, but y'all let me know in the chat, do you think Jimmy Butler is going to be traded? And if so, where do you think he's going to end up? We shall see. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm going to be doing some upcoming event stuff probably tomorrow of different things that are happening people can get involved in. And I appreciate y'all for always tuning in, rocking with me, loving everything that got going on. Appreciate all my supporters. Love y'all. I'm out.